Welcome back to Dream Team Wrestling. My name's Sophie. No face cam again today because I'm still suffering with a little bit of the old Rona. But today we're going to look back at WWE Battlegrounds. Do you remember WWE Battlegrounds? It was released in September of 2020 and we're just going to look back at what's happened in the game and is it still relevant in 2021. So, as you all know, we did make a few videos when this game came out, and in our honest opinion, the hype for the game fizzled out fairly fast. I mean, people were quite hyped about the game, don't get me wrong, but I mean, as soon as we played most of the levels and realised that most of the characters required you to play at least 60 hours to unlock about 5 people, the hype really did dissipate. But nonetheless, we're going to look at what it has to offer in the year of 2021. Also have a look at some fun things such as whose WWE game this was going to be the final of their career. So people that have moved to AEW or have just left the WWE, this would have been the last game that they're ever going to be featured in, unless obviously they return, which can be said for quite a few of them I suppose. So this is the menu. Nothing has changed since the game came out. All the same pictures are still on there that were there when the game came out. You'd assume that they would have updated something, but no, it's still the same. So we'll have a look into the play feature of WWE Battlegrounds. We'll also be looking at the store and the roster as well to see, obviously there's been more superstars which have appeared since the game came out. And that's another thing that we'll get onto in a bit, because I think that is the main reason why this game didn't do as well as it could have, because it was a great base game, you know, it had a lot to offer, but unfortunately I think they missed the ball with some things, to be fair. So this is the main screen if you want to play a match. You've got battleground challenges, you've got exhibition modes, women's modes, all that kind of good stuff. Looking at the store as well, we've got some special offers. Now the special offers to date at the moment are the 2021 grab bag, which as you can see is 25,000 coins. In the grab bag you get a Bret Hart, Chyna, Roddy Piper, Mustafa Ali, Cactus Jack and Mr. Perfect. Now you're thinking 25,000, that doesn't seem like a lot, but to get that currency you either have to play the game absolutely just day in and day out, or you can pay. As you can see there, 640, I think they're called golden bucks. 640 doesn't seem like a lot, but we will look at the prices of those in a moment. And you've also got the Epic Rivalries pack, which is 3 Mr. Perfects, 3 different outfits, and 1 Bret Hart, which is an absolute rip-off. So you're just paying for 2 characters there. You're just paying for Mr. Perfect in black, yellow and blue outfits, which is just a complete money grab. It's 11,000, almost 12,000, let's be honest, for 2 characters, and this is where the game became fun to just absolutely stupid. All the in-game currency that you needed to pay for, it's basically a pay to play, unless you just wanted to play as 3 characters. So as you can see, 22 days left on those, so they don't update them a lot, as you could probably tell. We're just going to have a look at how much the battle books cost, because I don't think you can buy the blue currency. That's how you earn that as you play. That's why it's more expensive, I suppose. Okay, so these are the prices at the moment for the battle books, golden books, V-bucks, I don't bloody know. So if you wanted 500, that's £4. If you were going to go for 1,100, £8, 2,300, £16. I mean, this is more expensive than Fortnite, let's be honest. 4,100 is £28.99 and 6,500 is £40. And when we bought this game was full price at around £30, I believe. So to add another £40 just to be able to unlock characters is insane. I would understand if the game was quite diverse and quite open and whatever, but it's just the same. It's just a wrestling game. It's basically 2K on steroids. So yeah, That's how I feel about that. So we'll just go back and have a look at what else the game has to offer at the moment. There's some daily challenges, which I don't know where these get done. I think the game just redoes the same ones every week or so. So they're still doing the daily challenges, it hasn't just completely gone out the window. The ones that are there today are perform 2 cage grab mini games in a match, play a Royal Rumble match against 15 or more superstars, and perform 3 weapon hits in a match. So as you can see, you can get those 3, and if you do, you get 2,500 of the blue, I don't know what the currency is, but it's the in-game currency that you can earn by playing matches. So if you were to do those every day, I suppose you would get those up quite a lot, but then obviously stuff that you can use to buy that is a lot more expensive, so you'd still find yourself grinding quite a lot as well by doing that. And as you can see there, we've done the challenges for the day, so we have unlocked 3,500 of, they're just called bucks, for doing the daily challenges. So if you do log in every day, those would add up quite significantly, which is quite good, I suppose. But obviously you'll see later on when we get to the roster just how stupid it is and how much you need to actually earn to be able to do it. This is just a little promo that they have every day. Nothing, they haven't released anything new in quite a while. The last thing that they released was Otis and Dana Brooke. That was possibly a long time ago, because the Don't You Clown and that was I feel like that was last year that came out. Just a little look at the options menu, nothing's changed, nothing's been added since the game got released. Okay, so we're going to play a one-on-one match, just to show you if you can't really remember, if you haven't played the game in a long time, or maybe you haven't played it at all. Just going to show you the combat in the game. We're going to do a one-on-one match. Let's see who we're going to pick, and this was £30 when we originally bought it. We bought it on the release date. I even think we pre-ordered it. So it came out in September of 2020, as I said at the beginning, but it was also available for free on the PlayStation Plus. I think it was a couple of months ago, maybe last month's free games or the free games the month before. So it was a free game at some point, but because we paid full price, we did expect a lot more from the game. I understand if you bought it for free, maybe you can put aside how much things cost, the in-game currency, things like that, but this wasn't released as a free game. It was a full price game and we didn't get everything that we really wanted out of it, unfortunately. But let's get right into the match and I can show you the physics of this game. Here we go. So we are coming out as the Fiend Bray Wyatt, and I've also had to pause the sound on this due to copyright reasons, so just imagine the Fiend absolutely going crazy right now. The theme music, they do have the theme music for most of the characters in the game. Obviously WWE owns the music for them all, so that would make sense. So we've got the Fiend Bray Wyatt, and he is going off against Stone Cold Steve Austin. What a dream match. As you can see, the graphics are very cartoonish, which is what the game is supposed to be, so that's fine. And we're going straight into the match. So there are many different arenas that you can have. I think they released about 6 or 7. They didn't release any future packs to unlock, any future locations to wrestle in, which would have been nice. I mean, they could have done it up to date with the current WWE themes, maybe done a pay-per-view, like a WrestleMania one, or a SummerSlam, or a Royal Rumble, anything like that. But they basically, our feeling on this is they released the game, got the money, and just left it in the dust, basically. They did a few updates, I'm not gonna fault them for that, but there wasn't enough. They released 3 characters every 3 or 4 months, but obviously they weren't free. You still had to grind the game or either pay real money to unlock them, so that was kind of a struggle. It would have been nice to have released some characters that they were just normal people that just wrestled in WWE. It wasn't anything special. I think it gave you about 3 or 4 characters that you didn't have to buy, and obviously you can play different story modes to be able to unlock more characters, but you don't get them as soon as you open the game, which sometimes you do expect when you pay full price for one. So, anyway, the Fiend has got some absolutely fiery fists. It's going for Stone Cold, sorry. And you can see the blue bar whirling underneath Bray's feet. That is to perform a special move, not necessarily a finisher. He's not going to do anything that you've seen in WWE before. They're a little bit overdramatic, a little bit over the top, but that is the selling point for the game. There was a game, I think it was called WWE All-Stars, that was released in about 2012. It's quite similar to that. I don't really know what kind of game mode this would be. Game type, I suppose. And here you get wacky stuff like throwing them into coffins. In a different one, you're in the middle of the swamp, and you can throw them into crocodiles' mouths and different stuff like that, which does make the game quite interesting. But as I said, if there were some more arenas, that would have been perfect. So Stone Cold's absolutely destroying us, just throwing us into the coffins. They can get different weapons out. Obviously you can see in the ring right now there's a chair, but Stone Cold's also pulled out a squeaky hammer, so stuff like that's a bit different. He can pull out tombstones, there's one on the left there. Sometimes they pull out motorbikes. It's all a bit wacky, bit like Wacky Races for the WWE. And there is a stunner by Stone Cold Steve Austin. As you can see, it's quite over the top, very animated, and we are pulling a special move onto him as well right now. We made a tips and tricks video for this game, if you do want to go and check that out. It was back when it got released, so it was back in 2021. It's quite interesting. It just lets you know the best way to win, the best things to do, such as taunting, as we're going to show now. So if you do taunt like this, you are way more likely to fill up your special move bar fairly quickly, to be honest. You could pull a few of those off and you'll be able to hit a special move in no time at all. So Bray Wyatt needs to hit a couple more, and his little blue swirl under his feet will get to full. I think this will do it. Boom. No, he still needs a little bit more action to get that to the top. Here we go. A special move is on the cards. That wasn't it. I think we're close though. I think he needs to be to his feet. Here we go. Sister Abigail. Boom. And then it's as simple as pinning the opponent and hopefully getting that dub. Let's see if we do okay. There we go. Sister Abigail, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the match is finished. Okay. So that was just a little one-on-one. Obviously there are different game modes as we showed at the beginning, sorry. So you can have a one-on-one. Oh, let's just go back a little bit further. So you can have a one-on-one, a tornado tag team match, a steel cage 1 versus 1, a steel cage 2 versus 2, a tag team. You can have a Royal Rumble, you can have a gauntlet match. They do not shy away from different game modes in this game, which is very good. Keeps everything a little bit random, you don't know what to expect. And alongside the normal matches, there was also the campaign mode, which we did also play on the channel. If you want to go and check those videos out, see what it's all about, you can do. So basically it was its own integrated story in the game where you'd find yourself unlocking different characters, such as Brock Lesnar. As you can see right now, it gives you a little bit of a comic strip that you can read out, and it tells you a story about, oh god, I can't even remember what the story was. We were at Billy Huggins' swamp, Bobby Lashley was there. It was a time. You do have to play as Billy Huggins. You don't get to pick who you want to play as. It depends which story you're playing. It could be Billy Huggins, you could be playing as Bobby Lashley, you could be playing as Braun Strowman. It's different people for each match, so it does give you something to focus on. It's not just one-on-one games or anything like that. It is quite an interesting story. It's quite funny, especially if you are really into the WWE, you will find it quite good. So this is another arena that WWE Battlegrounds offers. It's the Swamp Arena, and this is Billy Huggins. This is one of the characters in the game. So they didn't update the campaign any further than when the game was released. There was no add-ons, there was no different stories to play, it was just one solid story, and once that was done, it's not too long either, to be honest. So once that was completed, you'd find yourself thinking that there was nothing else to do on the game really, apart from play 1v1 matches or Royal Rumbles and such like that. to get coins and so on and so forth. As I've been saying, it would have been nice for the WWE to have maybe added a different story on, or a couple of different stories, especially because they are so short. It would have been nice to have added several ones to play. And yes, this is just a classic match, one-on-one, Billy Huggins versus Brock Lesnar. Further we go on, he's pulling at the hammer, squeaky hammer toy, and the ground is red for some reason as Brock Lesnar's done some sort of move. Oh! See, sometimes it is quite exciting. You don't expect the moves that come out. And as you can see on the left there is a little bit of an alligator. Same thing as the coffin. I think he just tries to eat you and spits you back out. But it does some damage as well, so that's quite fun. Brock Lesnar was thinking about pulling a chair out, but it's our time to shine. I think I hit... No, we've got halfway meter at the moment, but that's okay. Looks like Brock Lesnar's absolutely kicking our ass, to be honest. As you can see as well, you've got the little attributes and abilities. It is a quite complex little system, but once you figured it out, it is fairly easy to understand. So they did put a little bit of thought into it, let's be honest. And we got a 3 count on Brock Lesnar. So the campaign mode is a little bit of a comic strip, a little bit of a story, and then you go on to wrestle a match, whether it's a tag team, a one-on-one, anything like that. To further the story on a little bit, you uncover different superstars. You can unlock superstars as well, like Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, as I said. So that is a good way to unlock the characters as well. Unfortunately, 1 year later, there's been no add-ons, basically untouched since it came out. And there is the next comic strip that adds on to the story. And you can get rewards on there as well, so I think you can get the books, golden books, characters, so it is a very good thing to play. And the next one it looks like we're going to is Mexico. Okay, so what we're going to look at now is the roster and what the game has to offer. Now, don't get me wrong, it offered us a lot of superstars. It's a great range of characters. The only problem is that all these characters you have to pay to unlock. I think the game gave you about 10, maybe even less than that came free with the game, and they weren't the best superstars, they were just the lower rankings, I suppose. So the game does offer a large roster, and they did release a few more as time went on, but they all come at a price that you need to pay. So here you go, Randy Orton, we unlocked the base character, but every single character has 3 different outfits. All outfits cost about 3,000 to 6,000 bucks a go, or 75 coins, which obviously we've gathered is your real currency. So if you're playing the game and you do get the books, like we got 3,500 for the daily challenges, that seems like a lot, but when you come to the roster you'll realise that 3,500 is going to unlock you an outfit for Stephanie McMahon. And that's about it. I don't even think it's enough to unlock a character. So yes, we've got Beth Phoenix, we've unlocked her. The ones in the boxes we haven't unlocked. If they're outside the box like Ronda here, then we have unlocked them. All outfits of Ronda are unlocked. And of course, the Rock's outfits are unlocked as well. That's mainly Danny that's done that, not myself. Stone Cold's outfits are unlocked as well. Hulk Hogan. His NWO outfit costs 6,000 alone, which is crazy. We've got Seth Rollins, all of his different outfits. Now a lot of these, it's very different from when the game got released. There have been a lot that have been added to the game, which we really appreciate. It would have been nice for them to have come in free, but we can't ask too much of the WWE now, can we? Because that would be rude. So I'm just going to take a little moment for you to just glance through some of the superstars that are coming up on the screen at the moment and gasp in the prices that they've listed them as. And we've even got some legends such as Eddie Guerrero. So if you're looking to get some legends, not just current superstars, and the women's as well, the women legends, they're all here. Here we see Lita and Trish Stratus. Booker T as well, another legend. And there is quite a vast difference in wrestlers that they've decided to add to the game, such as the Gronkster. I mean, who thought the Gronkster would be in the game? There are quite some weird people as well, like Raheem Lillard. No idea why he's in the game, but he was, and I think you had to pay for him as well, which is, I think that's even worse. The Boogeyman, 2000, which isn't too bad for a costume. And attire. Got Big Kane here, the Big Red Machine. Buddy Murphy, this will be his last game as well. As the same for Sting. AEW for life. We got Montez Ford, Sheamus, Angelo Dawkins, Big Daddy Cole Diesel. His NWO attire as well. It's a must. Some of them, like Razor Ramon, have 4 outfits, which, you guessed it, is even more money for you. Some weird outfit choices there for Bray Wyatt. What? Bret Hart? Sami Zayn's in the game, of course, not his current look though. They wouldn't update that. So if there has been any new people coming to the WWE, any new outfits and things like that, they will not be in the game. They've not been updated or added, anything like that. I don't think the game's been updated for quite a while. So I think it definitely is left in the dust to just see what happens with it, to be honest. It is nice to see the amount of characters that they've put into the game. Doink the Clown is a great example of the differences in the characters. You've got Vader, Mr. Perfect, whole bunch of legends, Shane McMahon, which I'm surprised isn't about 16,000. Big Boss Man's pretty cheap at 50. Bo Dallas is 50 as well. Some people like Bo, obviously you're going to get quite a good deal on those. Lana's only 50 as well, same with Tamina. I'm guessing Mustafa Ali is the same. Yep. Yeah, so it kind of just depends on the rating of the wrestler as well. As you can see, Edge is probably going to be quite expensive for different... Oh, we've unlocked them both, so we will never know. Bolo Reynolds is another character that you play in the game, in the campaign mode. Baron Corbin, 75. Apollo is a 50. Billy Huggins is a 50, as we saw in the campaign mode. Elias, Andre the Giant. Elias looks very weird there. AJ Styles, 150, quite expensive. Same with Jeff, 3,000. Even Cesaro's got one that's 75. 225 for Daniel Bryan. It's just 9,000. It's just crazy. If you added all of these together, if you wanted to buy the whole roster to play, like we would in a WWE 2K game, you'd be looking at, I don't even know how much. Probably best off buying the £60 book, and you probably wouldn't even unlock them all by then. Eric Rowan, 50. Tyler Breeze is a 75. Even China is 150. It's just don't understand. Xavier Woods is a 3,000. Sergeant Slaughter is also a 3,000. Shawn Michaels, you're going to buy a hefty book for him. Jake Roberts is almost the same. Ultimate Warrior, oh my god, that one was 12,000. Same with Ric Flair, that is crazy. British Bulldog is pretty cheap actually. Earthquake should be way less money than that, that's ridiculous. 3,000 again for Mark Henry, that's absolutely crazy for Ricky Steamboat. Carmella should be cheaper. Alicia Fox definitely should be cheaper than that. Asuka, I'd say she's probably cheaper than that as well. Bailey, same with you, you are cheaper. Oh my god, Becky Lynch is 12,000. It's just ridiculous. Mickey James, yeah, I'd say that's about right. Naomi, you should be way lower as well. Nia Jax, way lower as well. Sasha Banks, I suppose, you can have that title. Andrade, why the hell are you 225 bucks? Chad Gable should be about 10. Curtis Axel, you should be the bloody same. Peyton Royce, I think you should be about a 10. Brian Kendrick, Nikki Cross, yeah, you're about right. R-Truth, you're about a 5. I would not pay 75 bucks for you. Paige, I've not seen you in about 10 years. Otis, that's crazy. Cactus Jack, I suppose that's alright. Jim Neidhart is a 50, which is quite funny. Alundra Blaze, Blaze it up. Linstorado is 50, he should probably be about 10. Alistair Black's last game as well, he's now an AEW man. Triple H is 12,000. Vince McMahon is 12,000, that's just stupid. Typhoon is 150. Christian is 50 as well. So that was the entire roster of WWE 2K Battlegrounds. There was a lot to offer, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of wrestlers, but as you can see, every wrestler is way overpriced, and it's just silly to think of how much you would have to play the game to be able to even buy 10, maybe even 5 of them. If you wanted some good wrestlers, you're looking to have been playing the game or paying about £40 to £50, and I think that is the main reason why WWE Battlegrounds flopped. It was quite popular when it first got released, but then I'd say a month or two after that it did definitely start to deplete, and the fact that it was free on the PlayStation Plus store basically closes the briefcase for WWE Battlegrounds time in our hearts. So yeah, 1 year on, they've not really touched it in quite a while. I'd say that it is a dead game. Let me know what you think in the comments about it, and yeah, we want to know your opinions, and also let us know what you think is going to be happening in WWE 2K22, the newest release of WWE's franchise. The release date we're looking at the moment, I think, is September, so there'll be a lot of videos on that as well. Peace, love, and